This is my 1980 Porsche 924 Turbo. Today I'll be doing a paint correction. Well, I've already started and done a majority of the car. This quarter panel door, rear quarter panel and hood already done. You can see how milky and dull this paint is up here. This is old single stage paint, which means there's no clear coat. It's just the color paint, and these usually come out really well, as you can see over here. I'll be doing a direct comparison up here on the roof, but yeah, for very limited effort these come out pretty good. So I'll just be going at it with a polishing pad and some compound, nothing fancy. There's obviously still some orange peel and other little blemishes in the paint, but it is for sure 100 times better than it was before. Especially here up here on the roof, you can see there's some paint chipping actually, so this thing will need a little bit of a repaint in some areas, but for now I'm just gonna make it look as good as I can with what I've got. Now usually I would take out this moonroof and do them separately just to protect these seals and not get them full of gunk. But the seal is leaky anyways. I've already got the new one, so I'm not really too worried about getting any compound on there or messing it up even more. Okay, so for this, these are really handy. There's a little paint thickness measuring tool. Now on the sides, let's see, it's 110. Up here, as far as I know, some areas will already repaint it. It's 130, 143, 139, 165. So yeah, this was definitely repainted. It's all over the place. But yeah, this is really handy, especially on the single stage stuff, because you really don't want to go too deep and burn through the paint. So this is good to have. On my other tests around the car, when I was polishing this, I was only taking off about 5 to 10 micrometers. So that's 5 to 10% of what I still have. I'm not too worried about that, and it is definitely worth the effort. Okay, so I'll be regularly checking the thickness to make sure I don't go too deep and that it's relatively even. Yeah, so let's get started. Now what I'm actually gonna do still is I'm gonna tape off here this little trim piece, as well as this rubber trim around the rear glass, just to make sure I don't go through that and then end up with areas like this where the previous owner must have already polished through that. Now in these paint chip areas, I'm gonna try to stay away as good as I can. I don't want to take off any more paint, and I also don't want to put little bits and pieces of the paint into my buffing pad and then scratch the paint up with that. So yeah, let's get started. Now in areas like this, where the trim is, it's actually protruding a little bit. You also want to be careful that you don't go over that too much because it's really easy to burn out that edge. So just stay nice and even, and I'm actually going to hand polish this just to make sure I don't mess that up. Now that was only a couple passes. Let's see how it came out. And that is already worlds better. The color is a lot deeper. It actually reflects light, doesn't just absorb it like this. Here, I don't know if you can see that, but you can barely see the garage door on top through. And here you can see it pretty well. And I'll be doing a couple more layers, a couple more passes. And I don't know if you can see this on the edge here. There's some rougher texture right here. I don't know if that was bad prep on the repaint that was already done on this, or what that is, but I could actually hit that with some sandpaper, just wet sand it down a little bit, get the surface a little smoother. But after I do a couple more passes, I'll see how it looks and then decide on that. I'll probably skip that for today. Okay, I think you can see the difference pretty well. Right here, you can see it's all faded out, and where I've already covered, the color is a lot deeper and more reflective. Okay, so after a little bit of polishing, you can see the pad completely gunks up. It's always good to blow it out. And here we go. As you can see, it's all nice and clear again. It's still stained from all the red paint particles in there, but now it's nice and open, so you can take up some more. I've done a couple passes, so it's a good time to check the paint thickness again in a few areas. And 44, 34, 15, 17, 107, 24, 129, 120, 32, 36, 48, 65 still. So really we've barely taken off anything and it already looks drastically better. So that is very good news. Now this is only 2 or 3 passes, so let's take a look at the difference that made. Probably better from the other side. Here we go. There you can see the difference. Look at that. Compared to this, you can see the difference. How much clearer it is. Now I'm gonna finish up this other side of the roof and decide whether or not I'm gonna do another pass. I also still have to do the back here, the front bumper, this quarter panel. This one looks pretty good actually, because I've already previously started to wet sand it at some point. Okay, here's another comparison. Take this off. This came out really good, so now I'm going to finish up this side, the back quarter panel, that side of the roof, and this door, and then I'll be all done, show the final product. This is the final product. It came out really good. I'm pretty satisfied. Put a little bit of trim repair on the front bumpers as well as some of the plastic trim.